What's going on, guys? Welcome back. My name is Rajeev Kugan. Thanks for checking in. It's been a minute. Man. I've been missing. 1 month I got lazy. The other month I really didn't know what to do. And then finally, when I was about to record, my barber went missing. But he did me good. Check him out, G-Cuts. What we're gonna talk about today is the Blackberry Key 2. I'm a Blackberry fan, and you guys know that. But there's actually gonna be a split review here. I'm gonna give you 3 reasons why you might get it, and 5 reasons why I'm shipping it back. First things first, it's the form factor. Everybody loves the iconic look. They actually call this the Icon Reborn. Many of you like to call this a brick. To be honest, you know, it feels like BlackBerry outsourced their manufacturing to Wakanda, and this thing's built out of vibranium because it actually feels pretty good. It feels solid, it feels bulletproof. The backing is actually nice. It has this very matte, rubbery feel to it. It doesn't leave you greasy fingers behind, so that's good. You still get the 4.5-inch screen, 1080p, if you're okay with that resolution and that screen size, and that's what you get. And you also get, obviously, the iconic keyboard. Interesting enough, we'll talk about it a little bit more later, but they actually revamped the keyboard too, which is pretty awesome. And finally, the new addition, which is the dual lens. Not a fan of it, we'll get into it later as well, but that is the new and improved Blackberry Key 2 form factor. So point number 2, obviously it is the keyboard. 100% upgrade from the predecessor, which is Key 1. That one was a bit finicky. The keys were like a little plastic, you know, kind of jiggled when you moved it around. Whereas this one, it actually, you know, adopts the same keyboard experience you get from the BlackBerry Passport. Now, for those who've never tried it, it's pretty much like typing in thin air. It has this nice little pressing feeling to it. It's like a typewriter from the future. That's what the BlackBerry Passport was, and that's what the Key 2 now has as well. Except for this spacebar. It's a little weird and clicky. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'm sure that's because they probably need to keep a little bit of wiggle room so that you can use the touch capacitive fingerprint sensor to log in. Other than that, nothing much has changed in terms of the keyboard. You can swipe to delete, you can flick up to pretty much use predictive keys. That experience is still intact. What they did do is they added a new speed key button. So what it is it actually allows you to assign apps to certain keys. So they still keep the experience where you can hold long press or short press and enable different apps, contacts, or different functions to be mapped to these keys. But if you want to actually map certain keys when you hit the speed key button, what it allows you to quickly switch between apps when you're in an app. Pretty convenient, especially if you have a bunch of buttons that can be used for those experiences. Okay, so the last point, I would call it the business sense. Why? Because obviously this phone is for the business users. You won't see my 10-year-old niece walking around with a BlackBerry. They think it's pretty outdated. So that's where their market is, and that's where they actually will succeed if they do a few more things that I feel like need to be placed in a BlackBerry in 2018 moving to 2020. Just to touch a few, obviously this comes equipped with BES, BlackBerry Enterprise Server. If your company supports that, then obviously you can hit the different perks with that functionality. One cool thing about this is that it has a convenience key that can be used as an unmute and mute function during phone calls. It's one of my favorite features with the actual BlackBerry, and nobody else does it. I don't know why. It's pretty straightforward. One thing to note, especially for all the BlackBerry business people on the go, this thing was advertised as 2 full days of use. I was able to get 2.5 full days of use. Plus, if I actually waited up to 10% for the night, I probably could have hit 3 days, which is pretty awesome. And of course, you get the security suite with DTAC, you get Firefox Focus, which is private browsing 24/7. You get all these little private tiered apps that's built by BlackBerry, especially when it comes to usage, when it comes to locker room, and, you know, even taking pictures. You can even take a picture, and if you use your fingerprint to take that picture, it's locked, which is pretty neat. And those are for people who want to keep under the radar. Okay, so we hit 3 different points to why you might want to get this phone. I'll be honest with you, I got 5 reasons why I'm actually gonna get rid of it. So the keyboard. The whole point of a BlackBerry existing is for the keyboard. But tell me why, just tell me why that I struggled to use this from a productive standpoint. Tell me why that I prefer an all-touch screen. And maybe this is because preference after using it for so long. Maybe because the memory muscles have gone in using an actual physical keyboard. But tell me why I can't do it. I can't do it. And it's just now I'm being forced. I'm forcing myself to use a keyboard, which doesn't make sense. It should be very, very smooth transition if I was to get a new phone with a keyboard that I'd enjoy it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Now the camera. Sucks. Don't put a dual lens on a BlackBerry expecting it to sell from a competitive standpoint, but the image processing is as horrible as the older models. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Look at this picture. Just look at this picture. I took this shot from a selfie mode. It's horrible. Now let's move over to a regular picture. It's not bad. You know, you can see a little bit of grain, but with all the lighting in my studio, it should be a perfect shot. So let's cut them slack. Let's go to the portrait mode. The whole point of a dual lens. It had fuzziness. It was a little grainy, and you can tell that it doesn't even detect the edge detection properly in a very well lit room. So I can only assume that this camera or this device requires, to be fully outside on a fully lit day. You can't even shoot this at night. I'm not even gonna try testing it at night. I did some inside shots at home. It was as bad as, trying something else outside. So I'm gonna just stick to the fact that this camera is not built for 2018 for a consumer who wants camera on the go. Now let's move on to number 3, the OS. Yes, they're using Oreo 8.1, but is it optimized? Why does the actual software come with a bunch of BlackBerry built apps when no one's gonna use it? They should probably stop building apps and build clever ways to integrate already used common apps into something that's even better. Maybe something as, a seamless integration between the different apps onto a cloud to pull from later on from the web and then bring it onto your business space. I feel like that's where BlackBerry needs to focus their innovation on. It's cool that you can get a lot of customizations. I'm a type of guy that loves customizing my products or my experience or even my technology. But when you got a lot of customization, multiple ways of customizing it, and then you get to go through the different options in the menu and you can do a lot of different changes, it can get overwhelming, especially for a regular user. Obviously, there's power users like myself who can deal with that kind of stress, but don't overwhelm the business users, man. They just need something that works and on the go. And to be honest, I can already tell, and I've already mentioned it with the camera experience, I can already tell this thing's gonna bog down, slow down, and eventually, even with a 6 gig RAM, even though it's using an okay processor, I can 100% see this slowing down in 6 months. My Key1 did it, and most likely the Key2 will too. So just keep that in mind. It will happen. Which leads to my next point, which is power. Yes, I've said it 100 times in my previous videos. I like power on the go. That's just me. I need actual powerful devices so I can do all the things I want to do. Unfortunately, even though they dropped 6 gigs of RAM, that 660 Snapdragon processor just doesn't cut it. It doesn't work to the optimal point. Why? Because it's a mediocre processor. It doesn't balance when you put more RAM. It doesn't work like that. This is like 101 computer tech that you should know. They could literally spend $100 more on this and equip it with the latest processor, which is the Snapdragon 845, and still be competitive. OnePlus does it. Why can't these guys do it? I'm gonna wrap this up with one last point. It's lack of innovation. You guys can't just keep dropping upgrades on a keyboard and expect people to love it. You guys need to take it a step further. BlackBerry needs to understand that we are moving to 2019 very soon, and an icon reborn keyboard is not going to save them. They really need to get into the software world, better themselves, add more integrations, get into tech that matters for the business people. One thing they can do, and this is just me throwing something out there, is make it a full screen. Maybe add touch capacitive keyboards under the screen that could be enabled when you want it or disabled when you want a full screen experience. I'm sure they can pull that off. If they can pull that off, look at this, there's a bug in here, so annoying. If they can pull this off, I feel like they'll have something that's innovative and something that people are willing to review. Like, there's a lot of reviewers out there, I've noticed, like MKBHD. The guy didn't even bother dealing with this. Why? Because there's no point. It has no love. There's a reason why it doesn't have love. And you can't say that the whole point of this phone is for a subset class of users, and as long as we satisfy that class of users, we're good. No, it shouldn't be like that. You want to hit the mass market by being innovative. And I'm sorry, I know. I'm telling you guys, I'm a BlackBerry fan. I've had the 7000 series. I've had the 9000 series. I've had the new BlackBerry 10s, and I've had all the Android phones. I still have a few in my drawer. I've been through all the different life cycles of a BlackBerry to understand that these guys haven't done much to make a difference. And I think it's time. They can't keep saying that the next one's gonna be better. I'm hoping 2019 you guys will do something, and maybe by 2020 you drop BlackBerry X and it's just like this super pumped phone with so many different features, fully upgraded with the latest tech. I'm hoping that's what's gonna be. Maybe I'm asking for too much, but we'll see. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Well, that's it, folks. Appreciate the support. Don't forget to hit the like button. It makes a big difference. Leave a comment. Makes a bigger difference. And of course, please subscribe. It helps a long way. It makes a difference for the little guys like myself who want to keep pumping out videos. Hope to see you again. My name is Rajeev Kugan, signing out. Oh, and before I go, like my Instagram. I'm actually going to be doing a contest. I might be giving away a gift card for Henry's. Money, money, money.
This is a sweet phone. Why are you bashing?
Because we all have our opinions, and I don't like the phone.
So wait, how are we getting the money?
You mean the contest for the gift card?
Yeah.
You gotta follow me on Instagram, bro. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you're good to go.
Get the money!
Yo, shout out to this kid. 6 shots.